Hey gang, this is Vicki Kelly with the Golden Rule Trades. Just want to show you what our setups were today. Today was all about where you drew your lines. It made all the difference in what you were able to do for the day. We don't usually use the lines from the pre-market, but it was possible to do that today. You could see that we had some lines here, or maybe even here, and you would have been able to capture this move here. But I don't ever really count those for the trading session. I wait until the open. And so then you had a choice again of where to draw the lines. I drew them here, and I captured, just show you here. I entered on the retrace to this line and exited here. Now, I'll show you why I did that. And that is because remember, we're working off of energy, and we had some definite energy this direction and this direction, as you can see right here in these two candles, and even in this one here. So I used that entry. You were able to make a little different decision and still be okay. You could have, whoops, you could have brought that up to here and been just fine as well, and would not have been a bad place to draw that either. You would have made a little bit more money that way, and I made a little less here, but I was happy. I made 13 points and was very happy with that. Remember, as you come into this, what's your goal? Because you're not going to capture every move, and you're not going to capture every point of every move. So, and then it also made a difference where you drew your lines in the next one, because if you did not draw them in the same place, it made the difference between making a profit and getting stopped out. So let me show you this one. So we had a setup here. I took the conservative entry because we had a very big monster move here. And when you have a really big move, your pullbacks tend to be more shallow, and then they continue on in the same direction. And so that's why I decided to draw my lines here. But drawing my lines here meant that I actually did not get into a trade on this side, because by the time we got our confirmations here, it had already reached into our target area. And so I stayed out of this particular play here. If you had drawn your lines a little more aggressively, you could have come down here. But even still, you may have re-entered here, but you were still coming into this area already and showing that it wasn't going to be able to breach it. And so you might have gotten a stop out if you were looking for that particular piece of it, depending on where you drew the line. But I stayed out because I drew them more conservatively, which is my recommendation for when you've had a big move, is to be more conservative with the pullback. So I stayed out of this play, no play there. And then, but it did reach the 400 level. And so I then turned around and got into this direction. And this also made a difference in where you drew your lines, because this triggered off here. If you drew your lines more aggressively, it's triggered off here, and you would have gotten, if we were, remember, we're using 5 micros with a 10-point stop. This is our confirmation. We would have entered here, and this would have stopped us out because this was more than 10 points through here. Okay, what I did was I put mine here, and therefore I waited for a pullback to here to get in, and did not get stopped out. Almost did, but did not get stopped out here. And then was able to ride that up here. And I put on only 1 micro on this one because it pretty much showed us it was going to be some chop. That's the nice thing about this system, is sometimes it can give you heads up when the chop is coming. And when our yellow lines are too close together, that's a really good indication that we're going to get some chop. And we certainly did for an hour. All it did was chop around. And so I just did a very small position, 1 micro, but I did capture from the entry point here to the target line here. And that made 9 points. So I was up 13 points on my 5 micros and 9 points on my 1 micro. I was happy with my profit for the day, didn't want to get greedy, and had a good day and was able to read the patterns pretty well. So I hope you're following along. For those of you who are in our live room, I'm glad that we're able to spend some time together figuring all this out together. But everybody, I want you to stay safe out there and good luck trading.